there!
Bonelab is a worthy successor to Boneworks in almost every way possible. If you took the greatness that you experienced from Boneworks, times it by 5 to the power of Ford's massive forehead, then you'll have a pretty good idea what it's like. Just like everyone on planet Earth, I have been waiting 3 long and difficult years waiting for this game to finally arrive, and it did not disappoint when it did. Apart from this place, I hate this place with a burning passion. I hate it more than anything I've ever seen. It is truly the worst thing I've ever encountered. But aside from spending roughly an hour on that one level, the rest of it is just perfect. There is nothing wrong with it at all. They've basically just taken all of the well-crafted stuff from the first game and times it by 5 for this one. Everything is just so much better. Even the combat, it just feels so much more fluid and responsive than before. And you're even able to add Ford into the sandbox mode without having to go and find his little sphere orb thing that's lying around some level somewhere, allowing you to completely unleash your insanity towards him for no particular reason straight off the bat. He's just there for you. You can tell that they've really gone all out on the interactions and environments in the game, because one of the first levels you go to, even though it's not really my greatest place to be puzzle-wise, it is phenomenal, the area that they managed to create. It is just visually pleasing to the eye, but they don't really tell you where to go or what to do, and it's not really a me problem. A lot of people have also had the same situation with this particular area, so prepare to rage a lot. But it's fine because they implemented 6 game modes, which are actually really enjoyable, and I may have spent a bit too much time on them than I should have. I honestly can't wait for the leaderboards in these game modes to marinate a bit, just for like maybe a week or something, and then come back to them and see just the unholy amount of times people have spent on these specific game modes. Because you never really look at online leaderboards the same way again after you play Beat Saber and just have a look at those, because the scores that people have managed to get on those is just, it is honestly scary, a bit too scary. I would also like to address the blue little orb collectible things, seeing as a lot of people are having difficulty trying to understand how they work, and trust me, you're not alone, because I'm in exactly the same boat, or was until I came across a random YouTube video about it. Let me give you a bit of a backstory on this first. Basically, I'm at level 4 currently, which is quite far into the game, and I've come across a lot of these blue little orbs, and from the first game all you had to do was store them in your inventory slots or carry them about wherever you were going, and you needed to put them into some sort of bin to save them so you can add them to the sandbox mode. And in this one it's a bit different. So basically I've found a ton of them lying around everywhere, and I couldn't put them in my inventory at all no matter what I did. So I was like, okay, fair enough, if I find them, you know what, I'm not going to bother with it, I'm just going to leave them, because I can always go back over and do all of the tedious progress afterwards. Or so I thought, because apparently each and every one of them that I've come across I could have unlocked already, because all you need to do is grab it with 2 hands and pull it apart. That's all you need to do, and then it adds to the sandbox. So I've missed out on a hell of a ton, and all I could have done was pull it apart. Incredible. It hurts me even more because I'm a partial completionist. I enjoy doing some completionist things in games, so it did kind of hurt my soul a bit to see that video and then go into the game and figure out that yes, that's the way you do it. And then I got the flashbacks of each and every one I missed, and it just didn't really end well for me. But it's fine, because as weird as it sounds, Boneworks and Bonelab have really good replayability, I would say, because most of what the game is is revolves around the physics and the combat, so you're never having to go through loads and loads of cutscenes that you've already seen, stuff like that, so it just works out so much better, and slightly less of a burden to go back and collect all the stuff you need to collect. So, and whilst you're doing that, you can even go back and hunt all of the radios that are just scattered around the levels, because wow, it really does hurt my ears after a while. To put it in perspective a bit, imagine taking a fork down a blackboard. That is now basically the equivalent of lo-fi compared to what the radio has to offer, so please just destroy it whenever you can. I think the main problem with it was that it's always present when you've got to do some sort of puzzle or read something, and it's always just there, ready to annoy you. Or it might just be me, probably just me. Despite what's already been implemented in the game, there's still a lot to be covered in it, especially with the experimental mode and the mod section, because if mods get approved, wherever they get approved, I'm not really sure where that gets processed, but whenever they do, it's always put onto the mod section now. So you basically get mods built into the game, as far as my understanding goes. And you also get the developer's own experimental mode. I think the two ones they've got at the moment is Mirror and a bowling minigame thing. I'm not overly sure what the Mirror area does. It does something, but I'm just not sure what it does yet. A lot of people are talking about a multiplayer mod for the mod section, but I'm not really sure if it's gonna ever get approved or if you'll have to download it via PC means. I definitely don't think it's going to be available on the Quest version of it, just because it's not really strong enough to handle a multiplayer experience for this particular physics-driven game, which is quite demanding. But I think that's all I've got to talk about for today. I'll let this whole situation marinate a bit and just let it brew very, very slowly, and hopefully we'll get more information on updates later on about what Stress Level 0 is doing for it, what new mods or experiments are going to come out on it, and we'll go from there. I'm also really excited to see what else the studio has to offer. I mean, after just dropping two of the best games known in the VR world, what else can you make that can rival those and be better? But we probably won't hear about another new game for a good while, and for good reason, because this one's only just released, but it does leave good speculation. Who knows, maybe they'll even just make a continuation of the same universe, but just based on a separate premise. I don't know. But that's all I've got for today, so if you did enjoy the video, please remember to subscribe. It does help me out a lot, and it's completely free. There is no transaction needed, and all you need to do is hit the red button. And hopefully I will see you next time. Goodbye.